Welcome, everybody, to This Is Difficult, the podcast, the renowned gaming podcast show where there's definitely always been two hosts and never more. Welcome. This
Yeah.
week we have an under-treat, a reduction of treats. So we
have less treats.
We have less treats for you this week, but actually maybe more words from each of us. So technically there could be treats involved. I am your co-host, Lord Yeshua, and Josh in the Fleshua. I couldn't help it. All right. We are on Paul's channel. It's Ryugami-san himself. We are missing another letdown, sadly, this week, and we had no fill-in. So Zach,
We've been let down.
We have been let down yet another time.
Another time.
Yeah, it's okay. We missed the guy, but he's doing shit.
It's fine. Yeah, no, he had an emergency come up this morning, and so he's unable to join us. But and by emergency, I mean he just has to watch his child.
No one died.
no one's dead.
Someone would die if he wasn't involved, though.
Yeah.
No, not really. Well, okay, I don't know. I don't know. Way more threatening.
That's dark. Anyway. He's doing good. He's doing good. Nothing bad has happened. And nothing bad will happen. Get that out of your mind. Strike that from the record.
It's not a threat, I swear.
Oh my god. So but yeah, it's us.
For you.
Yeah, so how's your week been, man?
You know, good. Been working a lot, like plugging up like 45, 50-hour weeks now at work. So, and my commute is crazy. I was just telling you. So, yeah, not a lot of time for gaming. I'm squeaking in a little bit of Magic. I've been playing a lot of Magic with my friends online, and I actually found a new card shop that I played with some local randoms, and it was really fun, and I almost annihilated them. But
Expelliarmus, am I right?
I got Expelliarmus at the last second. Yeah, exactly. It was really fun playing with new people, though. And then I've been playing some Hat in Time. Me and Colin have been doing the campaign again.
My God.
And God, this game is just so good all over again. We'll literally just be playing it. And I only do this with games that are extremely good. And I'll just out loud say, damn, this game is so good. You know what I mean? Like when you're playing it, like it just feels very good. It's like one of the reasons I game is to get that feeling like out of gaming. And very few games have replayability with that. And this game is like one of the greats, in my opinion. I feel like for like being just so replayable. The co-op is so seamless and fun. The adventure is so well crafted, and yet there's tons of moddable levels and stuff like that. Absolutely endless content in this game. If you haven't played it, definitely play it. It's not a review. I'm just saying this is a really, really great game, and the campaign is just good all over again. It's so good. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing. Lots of Magic. Yeah. I got a lot of time on the train, so I'm just like building decks like crazy.
Yeah, I've had some good gaming over the last couple weeks. I started playing Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages.
Ooh, Ages is good.
It's good, but it gets so
confusing.
Not even confusing, tedious with there's like a lot of trading quests.
Yeah.
Towards like once you get to like the 6th dungeon, there's like 3 different trading quests going on, and it's a little and you have to go back and forth in time to do it. So
yeah, the overworld is not very grokkable either, as compared to Link's Awakening.
Yeah, it's small though, so like that makes it a little easier, just because like you know you don't have to ever go very far.
True.
But there is a teleportation mechanic with one of the songs or whatever, or not the songs, one of the seeds that you can throw out.
It's so long since I played those games.
Yeah, it's really good. Like it's really good. The bosses are really cool. The color on the Game Boy Color looks great. I think it's one of the best looking games on the Game Boy Color.
Oh yeah.
But it just, like once you get to like level 6, it's like do way too many things, you know?
Yeah.
And you're just like, ugh.
That sucks.
So I kind of, I set it down a little bit for the time being because I needed to get my mind right to to go back and do that crap. But it's fun. And the puzzles in that game are
really
very
hard.
Advanced for like a handheld Zelda, which I actually appreciate. You know, they're like, Capcom was like, we're not going to hold back here. You know, we're going to deliver Zelda. you know.
Yeah, they really
Um,
did. Damn. Was this
so
Capcom's first Zelda game or only?
not only
Uh,
they did Capcom did Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. They came out at the same time. They also did Four Swords and
there's Four Swords.
Minish Cap,
Minish Cap was
which
was
Minish Cap
honestly
I think
that's
that
their
game
real
slept
game.
on. That's
Yeah,
that's
it's
like
highly yeah.
that. I was saying last week with Josh that if I didn't have such heavy nostalgia for Link's Awakening, Minish Cap
Mm.
might be my favorite Zelda game.
It is really amazing. It's a
Yeah.
full-fledged Zelda game. It
Yeah.
absolutely is completely like world crafted, and it's really
It's
amazing. Good
excellent. The
for them.
story's
Yeah.
excellent. The art's excellent. It plays so well on the Game Boy Advanced. It's
Final
just so
boss is
good.
awful.
The final boss is the one mar
One.
on the
It
thing, but
literally it's like 1 and then like the last bot like the last temple is like a 5 and it scales like that and then the boss is a 10. It's like absolutely crazy. Like the
yeah.
final boss.
It's doable though, but it's
It's
yeah,
doable.
it's on a totally different level than anything else in the game, which I think
Yeah.
is kind of
That's
typical
Zelda.
for the top-down Zelda games, but
Yeah.
this one might be a little much. Isn't it like 3 or 4 phases
It's like
too?
4 phases,
Yeah.
and one of them in particular is, like, impossible to figure out. Like, you have to, like, look it up, I swear to God, or just use every item and, like, die over and over again pretty much
Yeah,
to
it's
figure it.
tricky. It's tricky for
But I will
sure.
say it is definitely my favorite handheld Zelda game right now, and I'm not including anything on the Switch. Obviously, Link's Awakening remake would be, but this is probably yeah my favorite standalone handheld Zelda game is Minish Cap. I'd say because
Yeah.
now I can say that Link's Awakening is no longer handheld, so I can say like that's actually my favorite, one of my favorite console ones, or maybe my favorite on the Switch. I'll say there you
Yeah.
go. But
For
I
sure
think that
favorite on the Switch.
yeah,
That game's
definitely.
so good.
That's yet to be seen if it'll remain, though, as we are getting Tears of the Kingdom, and I am hopeful. I am pretty hopeful that this game is going to blow us out of something, a chair
So
at least.
yeah, I actually I'm very cautiously optimistic about
Yeah,
Tears of the Kingdom just because it looks like they really drenched that game in lore.
yeah.
Like did you see that statue from Tokyo Game Show of
Mm.
Link?
Which one?
There's a
I don't think I
picture
saw it.
floating around the internet it's a like a statue of Link from Tokyo Game Show, and he's
Look it up.
got his hand extended, and it's like his arm is all blue and has like the crazy looking, like hieroglyphics or whatever, kind of tribal tattoos or whatever, and his fingers look like a demon's hand,
Mm.
and actually it looks like the hand that's pulling Ganon up from the original trailer, you know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
wow.
um it looks really cool, so I think that maybe,
Oh, wow. Looks sick.
yeah, I have hope, but I'm still afraid that they're gonna put in a lot of the mechanics um from Breath of the Wild that I hated.
Yeah. This
So
will be really amazing if the lore is as deep as we think it's about to get, and
yeah.
Link and Ganon are truly connected in some way in
Hmm.
this game. That'd be really amazing. But yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. It's looking a little breathy in certain ways, but we're not sure how open the game feels yet. I know it's gonna be a big map and it's gonna like be an open world game,
Well, it's
but
gonna
how big
be
is it gonna feel?
almost double the size, right?
Almost
Because
double.
it's the whole map, from my
Crazy.
understanding, from Breath of the Wild, and then you have the
Yeah,
sky, and then also some people say that there's underground stuff too. I don't know
I
if
would
that's
assume
true,
dungeons.
but yeah.
I'm not
If
gonna
they bring
say.
back honestly, if they bring
Oh
back
yeah,
dungeons and do away with breakable shit, I'm
yeah.
fine with it. Like
I think
I
durability is
think they're
insane.
gonna yeah, I think it'll be a good game. Maybe. Like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic.
Actually, I don't know if durability is. I think that's not 100%. That's a fan confirmation. Is that durability is back? I think that we could lose durability. That's something they could easily just like take out of the fucking code. I feel
Yeah.
like at the last second and be like, whoops. But we don't know exactly. We know it's a big map, but we don't know how it plays around. You know what I mean? Like there might be so much content on this map that you'll never be bored, and it doesn't feel like Brett because because it feels like there's like towns
Yeah.
and like something I want is a more advanced Hyrule. So we're like a few years out of the last game. Like let's say 10 years pass. We don't really know. If 10 years pass, then we could probably have some villages and stuff like that. If
Yeah.
less time passed, we're probably going to have an even more desolate Hyrule because
Yeah.
the Guardians have been running around. You know what I mean? They haven't
Yeah.
had like no chance to rebuild basically since Zelda
Yeah.
sealed Ganon away, or Calamity.
Well, and we do know real Ganon is in the
Yeah,
game, right?
we
So
do
like
know real Ganon. Yeah,
I think that's also a big contributing factor to the game being much better than
yeah,
Breath of the Wild already, you
yeah.
know. So,
An identity to the like the cause.
yeah.
Yeah, me and Colin always said, and we all talked about this, how like Calamity Ganon is so unidentifiable as a bad guy. It's like a virus being your main villain with no words or dialogue or even like motives. It's just malice incarnate, literally quote unquote. And
Yeah.
so that's like
So
just evil for
nebulous
evil's
and
sake.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's so nebulous. And it's like, what's the purpose here? Ganondorf and Ganon, though, it's like we have true calculated evil. This guy has a plan, and when he wakes up, our brains, as just people who love the lore, are thinking this was planned all along. Like, holy shit, what has Ganon got? Like his next move is going to be incredible. Like these are things that we think about, and that I can't believe Nintendo kind of dropped the ball on in Breath. Like Breath One should have had, but obviously it could be the setup for a far greater game. You know what I mean? Tears could have needed that setup to be incredible, but we're also unsure if it's going to be incredible. I, for one, also would love a remake of the Oracles. Now that we're talking about that, I think that would be
Adam and
super
I have been
amazing.
talking about that. If they give the Oracle games the Link's Awakening treatment,
Yes.
oh dude, I would nut.
Any of the yeah, I would not. Any of the games that you have to equip your fucking sword and
Yeah.
shield and like power gloves, that needs to be like fucking redone. Like
Yeah.
any of those games where the sword has to be equipped
Yeah.
needs to be a remake.
I
But
will say
even better, it's a money opportunity. Just real quick to get that out, having
yeah.
both things, I would buy both. I would spend $200 on whatever the fuck you make. I don't give a shit.
I agree, and I think that I mean, so I agree with the changes to the mechanics as far as like equipping stuff is, but like because I grew up with Link's Awakening, when I'm playing the Oracle games on my Game Boy, like it feels like second nature to switch,
Yeah.
and I can switch items so quickly, you know.
It's not the
Um,
biggest deal to switch. I'm not saying it hurts,
but
but like
it is a great quality of life improvement.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like if we got that enhanced, it's literally 4 different items that are
yeah.
plopped onto your controller as
Yeah.
opposed to being equippable.
It's
4
funny
items.
though because when I first started playing the remake of Link's Awakening, it threw me off because I was so used to doing
Yeah.
the item swapping. But I did play other games too this week.
Ooh,
So last week I finished playing the Kengo series, right? So like that's what I'm going to review today. I'll talk more about that later. But the final game, even though all the rest of the games were on PlayStation 2, the final game was actually on Xbox 360. So I had to track down an Xbox 360 to even be able to play this game.
See it there. Yeah. What the heck?
Um, and I did, and it was great. We'll talk about that more later. I also played the new Hot Wheels game was free on PlayStation this month, and so I cracked that open, and it is so fun. Like I'm not really a racing game guy, but like it's just like stupid, silly fun with like really fun looking, ridiculous cars. Like you've got like the Batmobile and the Turtles party bus and all sorts of like cool like dinosaur cars and
That's
regular
crazy.
cars and
Kind of sounds amazing.
yeah, it's really fun. And then the tracks are cool too. You got all the loopies and the jumpies and the
Movies.
the mystery machines in there too. Yep, like the mystery machines in there too.
Okay, it sounds like Twisted Metal, but like good. No, but
Well,
like Legos meets Twisted Metal. I mean to say.
sure, there's not really any combat like Twisted Metal,
Okay.
That would be cool. I actually think that's the one thing this game is missing because it plays very much like a kart racer, but there's no items. So like
DeLorean. You're about to sell
yeah.
it for blank.
There is the DeLorean. I have the DeLorean.
Nice.
I have the DeLorean. Yeah.
That's what more could you want? Is Knight Rider in this?
Kit is in it. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
literally every
I
famous
I've got
car
Kit
is in
too.
this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so
Dude,
cool.
that's really cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just really fun.
Cool.
So I've been playing that, and then I've also been trying to teach myself the old like the ancient Japanese game of Go, which is like
Oish.
it's so
Takes like
hard.
years to learn.
Yeah, it's so hard. So there's a game that you can get on the Switch that's just a whole bunch of board games, and
Oh yeah.
it includes Go and Shogi and a whole bunch of other games. Traditional chess,
I need to
checkers,
get
all
that.
that
I
stuff.
got the chess one, but I need to get the board game one. The
Yeah, it's
chess one is
cool.
really
It's
cool.
got a
Online
bunch of
chess.
games. Yeah, it's got here, I'll tell you all the games that it has.
Yeah. People are sleeping on things like this because these are online co-op. These are like things
Yeah,
like if you really want to play chess but are tired of playing against an AI and need person experience, like you
yeah.
can literally get a $5 game on the Switch.
So
It's
this is
crazy.
called The Table Game. Is the
Mm.
game that I got, and it's got. Hold on, I'll tell you what games are in here.
How much was it also? That one.
I don't remember how much
Any
it was, but it wasn't expensive. It
10?
was something like that, 10, 12, something like that. So
Nice.
it's got Mahjong, both 2
Oh.
and 4 player. It's got Hanafuda, which is a really cool Japanese card game that my host family tried to teach me when I was in Japan, and I did not fucking get it. But like I looked up the rules now, and I've played it since, and it's fun. You've got
Oh.
Texas Hold'em, you got Shogi, you got Sume Choji, which I don't know what the difference in that is. You've got Othello, which I think actually
Oh.
Othello is like an
Backgammon?
no, it's like an adaptation, like a Western adaptation of Go. Because you play
Okay.
with the same pieces in a similar board.
Interesting.
You've got Go. You've got Did I say Texas Hold'em? You've got Poker 5 card draw and blackjack. Oh,
Mm.
I thought there was other games on
No
here. I thought
go?
you had like
Look,
chess and Go's on
I was
there.
about to say
I
chess and
thought I thought
Chinese
you had
checkers.
chess and checkers, but you don't. Um,
Chinese checkers, I'm surprised isn't.
yeah, I'm surprised it's not either. But
Is that what they
anyway,
call it still?
there's Chinese checkers and Chinese chess. I think Chinese chess is really similar to
Ah,
shogi. Um,
interesting.
but
Chess is
But
where
yeah.
it's at.
Anyway, so it's cool. I've been playing on that, and I'm so bad at it. Like I can't even beat. Well, I've won one game, um, on the easiest difficulty, and I've played
Nice.
probably 60 games.
Damn. I mean, people are really pros. They really know
Well,
what's going on.
I'm playing just against a computer on the easiest
Oh,
difficulty.
never
Like
mind.
yeah, I haven't even tried to play online. So
Dang. That's a good way to learn, though.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, just watch the
And
computer
then
move.
finally, last night, my friend Gabe, who I grew up with, we competed gymnastics together. We studied Japanese together. Um, he came over because he was in town for the Japan Festival this weekend with his wife Natsumi, and we played classic Super Famicom, Japanese Super Famicom games
Mm,
on stream, and
damn.
that was super fun. So we played Dragon Ball Z, Butuden 2. Actually, I held up 3, but we played 2. We played Go Go Ackman, which is such a cool game. It's from Akira Toriyama, so the same guy who made
Okay.
like the Dragon Ball series and stuff. But you play as the son of the devil,
Huh.
and you're like this cute little chibi guy, and you're like killing angels and stealing their souls,
What
but
the
it's all
fuck?
presented in this like super cute like platformer kind of deal. It's super fun.
That's fun.
So we played that, and we played Dragon Ball Z what's the one called?
Tenkaichi?
No,
No.
that's on PlayStation.
That's the oh,
So
yeah,
we
yeah.
played Butuden, we played what Hyperdimension.
Ah,
Hyperdimension, which is,
yes.
if you ask me, by far the best Dragon Ball Z fighting game on the Super Nintendo. We were gonna play more games, but we got hungry and it was getting late, so we had to get out, to a barbecue restaurant before they all closed. So,
Makes
uh,
sense.
but yeah, it was good. Yeah, so it was fun. I had a really fun week in gaming. It was
Oh,
can't
yeah.
complain at all. So yeah.
Sweet.
Do you have any current events at all?
Current events. I'm currently thinking, let's see. We got a few announcements actually. So the two ones that I only care about Pokemon Violet and Scarlet, we got a gameplay. I can't remember the colors.
Yeah, there was like I think
There's a
you nailed it.
gameplay
Violet and
trailer.
Scarlet. Yeah,
Oh,
there
I
was a
think I did know.
14-minute
There's
gameplay
a
demo.
14-minute gameplay trailer. For those that didn't watch it, I will surmise this. Fucking buy the game.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
It looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I will be honest, it started off and I was very unsure. I was like, these gimmicks, like, terrestrializing. I don't know about things.
Yeah,
And then they
that's the
started
one thing I'm not
explaining.
a super fan of is the
So I will
terrestrializing.
explain why you should be a fan, though.
Okay.
So by the end of the video, I was
I liked
screaming my
Mega
pants.
Evolutions better.
Yeah, I thought
Is
Mega
all.
Evolutions were really cool because it kind of, I thought that was like the height in X and Y. But this is looking out to be the best overworld we've seen, the best movement, the best graphics we've seen, and I think the best competitive scene. And this is
Yeah.
why terastallizing allows you to change your typing and thusly gain same type advantage bonuses. Stab, which means like if your Squirtle uses Water Beam, it's going to get a slight boost, a 25% power boost to that move. Actually, statistically speaking, Pokemon is just statistics, basically. And which is crazy. And so this is basically going to allow you to not only cover your like damage weaknesses, but resistance weaknesses as well. So if Chansey, like we saw in the video, normally fighting type or normally weak against fighting types as a normal type, she can go Ghost Terastallize and not only gain Ghost attacks, but gain Ghost resistances too. Now having no weaknesses at all. So normal Ghost, dude, insane combinations like Ice Fire, Steel Fire, like things we've never seen before are now possible, and each of your Pokemon is looking to be able to do it. I don't know if it's limited to like one per fight or like with whatever they did in, I can't even remember what they called it in Sword and Shield. Like what the fuck did they even call it? Gigantamax, which was the stupidest one
Gigantamax.
in
Yeah,
my opinion.
Gigantamax was weak.
Yeah. It was like, okay, cool. Give yourself 100 more HP and a protect. It's
But I
like,
also think that Gigantamax, like some of the Pokemon had special Gigantamax forms and special Gigantamax moves, and they looked cooler than the terastallizing. I think the terastallizing looks stupid.
I think the terastallizing is really stupid.
That's my biggest complaint about terastallizing.
The main thing is it shows you what it does, though. So I know it sounds stupid, but this is like, again, grokkable for all countries that are playing against each other. And like, no matter where you are, if your Chansey uses water terastallization, a water drop crystallizes on top of them. So no matter what, even if you can't read the language or anything like that, you know this Chansey is now adding water type. So this is kind of an important detail because it basically means that you're never going to be confused as to what the change was. You know what I mean? Like the fire one. Okay, adding fire type. They even said in the thing you can have up to 3 types for Pokemon now. Like this is
crazy.
So insane. This literally changes the game. Like this makes competitive outrageous, in my opinion. It's going to be the most fun competitive format. And on top of that, it makes casual play really fun, and it makes like the puzzle of playing less like stalematey. Like where you get stalemated certain times. You're like, fuck, I only got blah blah left, and blah blah doesn't know a water move, and he's literally using a fire like Charizard right now. I'm fucked. Oh well, instead I'll terastallize, turn it into a water type, and now it has like this Hydro move or whatever. Like super genius, but of course it comes with this disadvantages too. Like if you're already I'm trying to think of an example, like 2 super weak things to water, let's say, and then you're like, now I'm fire terastallizing, and you add a third type, you're now triple weak against fire, against whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they'll take one maybe like baby attack to kill you.
Yeah,
so
kill
it has its plus.
Fucking Ember.
Yeah, Ember. It has its pluses, but it has its downsides too. So it's very much a strategic thing, and I think competitive is going to greatly
splash or whatever.
benefit.
I don't know.
Yeah,
we were weak to water. We were weak to water. Yeah.
But I'm thinking, so that's probably my favorite announcement. It really solidified that I want this game. I at first was really hesitant, but I think if you're a Pokemon fan, you should at least watch the trailer, and I think you'll probably be super hyped.
Yeah, I have a couple minor complaints that aren't really real complaints. Like, so it's clearly built like it's an evolution of the Arceus engine, which I loved.
I'm excited that it is. Yeah,
but I noticed that, or at least what it looked like from those battles, is that you couldn't like move around during battle,
it's a lot,
which I really liked in Arceus. Like that just made it feel more fun. Also, the Pokeball throwing is also just a button push instead of like the aiming and the like. I loved that in Arceus, and also how you could catch Pokemon without having to engage with them. You know, you could like throw a berry out there and they
Yeah.
get distracted and you
But you
hit them in
can
the back of the
kind
head with
of
a.
you can fight, you can beat up Pokemon. We don't know if you can catch them like this, but you can send your Pokemon, your lead, into the wild with go ahead. It's like a command or whatever.
That looked really
And
cool.
that is really cool. So if you're like,
Yeah.
there's a guy,
You could
and it
clear out
literally,
like entire areas
yeah.
of Pokemon. Yeah.
I assume if you lose a fight, your guy will just faint on the ground right there. But it's
Yeah.
like one of those things that, like, if you're just like, these are a bunch of Rattatas, just like boom, 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 boom. All right, XP, and like we're good to go. That is genius.
Yeah.
That is genius. I will say though, it definitely looks like when they fought that Jigglypuff, you encounter it does like an animation, and then it pulls you into the fight. So it's just like the old ones. We do get the Arceus. I don't even know how to fucking say it anymore.
Yeah, I
Where
don't
it's
know
like
if it's
open world.
Arceus or Arceus.
I
I've
I
always
like
said
Arceus.
Arceus.
I
Yeah.
think Arceus sounds cooler, but I and it sounds like correct pronunciation. But I think that that might be the only downfall is that I was kind of looking forward to that open combat and like but maybe they wanted to just kind of they wanted to like make it more in line. I get
Yeah.
that, and I
More
feel like
traditionalized.
it's not really gonna hurt it when we're playing it. We're just
No,
playing it.
it's
We're
just
gonna
something
be
I liked from the
yeah
other one and was hoping was in there. It doesn't
yeah
really change the actual dynamic of the
yeah.
gameplay, like.
There's enough cutesy shit too that if you do care just about like not playing Pokemon and you're a Pokemon fan, does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
the main things are like breeding and raising Pokemon and then like fighting and like exploring. If you're into the other stuff though, like your accessories and your beauty pageants and your crafting of random bullshit,
Yeah.
there is a lot of that too. And you can have a picnic with your Pokemon and make them a fucking sandwich. Like, and you can bathe them. You can literally bathe your Charizard.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I just saying, like, if you were a fan of this and like X and Y and Sword and Shield and all of that cutesy stuff, that is going to be in spades. And I'm probably going to try all that stuff out, but there seems like a lot that you don't need to do.
Yeah.
So overall, I'm very excited about this. The only other announcement, real quick, that I have is the Mario movie. So the Mario movie trailer, for those who don't know, came out a few days ago, and we're getting this in April. And I, for one, am a little conflicted, although I'm definitely going to see this movie. I personally think Bowser looks fucking awesome. Like the best looking Bowser we've maybe ever seen, aside from Bowser's Fury. Like just incredibly animated. It looks really intense, and they're doing justice to the animation in the movie, in my opinion. And then we get Mario, who is an abomination. Like I don't think he even needs to be in this movie. I think we just
That's
get
hilarious.
not Mario and just have Bowser and his Koopa Troopas and stuff.
Yeah.
Basically, everything that looks like it's from a game, I approve of, and anything they changed, I think is weird and shitty. Again, this doesn't affect.
Sure,
The canon, so
I'm
can't
not
really
mad
get
at the
new.
Mario thing, and I'm not even mad at the
I'm not-
accent. It's just another take. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's a movie.
I know it's a movie. I just think it's like with Detective Pikachu, like we got Ryan Reynolds, right? But the main thing, like I was like, whatever, this is so weird, it's so out there. Like you don't think of Ryan Reynolds being synonymous with Pikachu nowadays, though. So it's not like it affected the canon. It's not like you're gonna see Chris Pratt and be like, oh shit, Mario, like oh he ruined Mario. It's not like M Night Shyamalan with Avatar. It's not like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like every
Yeah.
time I think of M Night Shyamalan, I think of how he ruined Avatar. But it is more just like super weird and different, like how like Detective Pikachu was a really fun ride, but it didn't affect anything. There
Yeah.
wasn't really anything negative. But with Mario, I will say it is a little jarring. We're kind of getting a little bit of a Sonic reaction here, like with the Sonic movie.
Yeah,
Like,
people keep saying that. I don't think it's anywhere close to as bad.
I agree. It's
as
not
the
as
Sonic
egregious.
situation.
It's not a redo.
Yeah.
It's not a redo. Nintendo is very careful. I just think it's so fucking weird. Like,
I think it makes
Mario.
sense, okay? And this is why. Because like Mario is an Italian plumber from New York. Like he's not like just like fresh off the boat Italian, you know what I mean?
No, you're right.
Like
you're right. He's from Brooklyn. He's a plumber.
yeah, it doesn't bother me at all. Like he's got that like Brooklyn
But he
accent.
sounds like this, and we know that. That's the thing.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know.
But also Charles Martinet is like getting up there in age, and I don't know if he can do sentences like as far as like you're like, I'm Mario, I'm gonna go get a bagel. Do you want anything, Luigi? I'd actually be down for that. Never mind. As I was saying, and I was like, wait, that sounds like kind of amazing. And Charlie Day is gonna be Luigi. Overall, it is gonna be a fun ride, and I'm gonna just be stoned as hell for this movie. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest with you. So it's not even gonna really
Dude,
matter.
Jack Black
And
as Bowser? How cool is
Jack
that?
Black is Bowser. The most exciting thing for me was that first scene. Did you see the trailer?
Yeah, with
Yeah,
Bowser and the
with
penguins.
Bowser and the
Dude,
penguins,
the
and he's just like,
penguins from Mario
yeah,
64, dude. Do
the
you think we're
penguins from
gonna
Mario
chuck any of them
64.
off the cliff?
I think there may be a reference. I actually think there
There
might
was
be references
references
like
to
this.
the original Mario movie in that trailer. Did you notice that?
Really?
Yeah, like the
Which one?
lines were like the same, like the whole like "Where am I" lines or whatever. Like it was like the same
Oh
line from
yeah.
the original
I
Mario
wonder if we'll
movie.
get callbacks like the ba-bomb. The
Yeah,
ba-bomb is like my favorite joke in
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think that there's a high possibility we can get memes and like
Sure. Oh yeah.
references. The penguin meme is actually way bigger than you'd think. Like online, like
No, I know.
I see the penguin meme everywhere. I'm like, this
Yeah.
is amazing because this is something that we just did. It's hilarious that people are
Well,
getting
it's
this.
so
It's like
funny
a
that
90s
everyone
thing.
did it before like the internet was
Yeah,
prevalent and you could share it with people. Like it's just
yeah.
something that every kid was
Every
like,
kid.
haha, this is funny. You
It's
know?
like, aren't you gonna get the star? One sec, I got
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Like,
And
I
then
don't.
it turns out we all did it, you know?
We all did it.
Yeah.
Like the amount of times I've fallen off the edge. I probably fell off the edge like 10 times just throwing that penguin off in my lifetime, but I
Mhm,
always still do it. It's so
mhm.
worth it.
Yeah.
um, that is so funny. That is literally like an example of a gaming meme that like started far before any responses to it could be made. Like
Yeah.
you and your homies all threw that penguin off the edge, but no one knew, And
Yeah.
now that we all have the internet, we're like, wow, we all did that. That
Yeah.
is really funny that that kind of thing is a thing. Yeah. So, but that's my news. Mario movie, Pokemon. Really excited about that. Definitely go see the 14-minute thingy with the weird voice actor lady. Her voice kind of weirded me out. But anyway, maybe because I was overthinking it because I'm a
I
voice
think
actor.
all of those Nintendo like voiceover playhouse, like all that kind of stuff, they
Yeah.
always sound so weird and overproduced.
Let's
You know?
take a look at Zelda now.
Yeah.
Here's a new Pokeball type that you can try.
Yeah,
Try throwing
exactly.
this Pokeball with friends.
Yeah.
It's
It's like
like,
these aren't real people. Like
these
you
aren't
sound
real
like an
people.
alien trying to
It
be a
really
person, you
sounds,
know?
yeah.
Like they're like,
It's
"Oh yes,
so
this is what humans sound like."
completely emotionless.
Yeah. So strange.
It is.
So
Those
strange.
always weird me out. Yeah, they have the equivalent for guys. It's like,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
now
Yeah.
look at this.
Yeah.
I
It's weird.
don't know. Yeah,
It's very strange. I don't
but
know if I have any current
I think
events
I kind of
myself.
that's all the
Yeah.
Nintendo stuff that even exists.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any interesting other gaming stuff there. I mean, you had like the launch of Overwatch 2, which has been
Oh,
disastrous.
that this game. Let's talk about that for a second. Actually,
Yeah.
this has been like so brushed under the rug. It's insane. I didn't even
I
see
mean,
evidence this game came out.
well, you know
Like,
what's funny is yeah, I agree. Like there wasn't any like big hurrah about it coming out,
yeah.
but all I see is people complaining about how bad the release was on like Twitter,
Ugh.
you know, but there wasn't like a big marketing push like
I
you
think
would
that's because
think.
Blizzard is in real trouble right now, and
They've
then they're
got to
pushing
be.
one of their biggest IPs during like some insane tumultuous events within the company, and then they're expecting it to go smoothly. And on top of that, people on Twitter are like, "It's a slop dumpster fire. Like this
Yeah.
is just not what we wanted." And that is gotta hurt. Like this is like nailing some nails in the coffin for Blizzard a little bit right here.
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't be
kind of
surprised if they
agree.
were. I think they might be selling, or like they might be
Well, they
getting
already
gutted soon.
are
Oh
being
wait, who bought
purchased
them again?
by Microsoft
Oh,
and
that's right. That's right.
um
Yeah.
Sony's trying to block that purchase.
With more money.
Well, they're no, they're essentially going to all the different countries that have a say in whether or not that purchase can be approved and being like, "Hey, it's not fair for Activision to and Blizzard to be owned by Microsoft because then we won't have Call of Duty." You know?
Oh,
Um
fuck them, dude. Kill the series already.
yeah.
That's what this is then. Oh my god, that's what this is. Become making Call of Duty a Microsoft exclusive. That's maybe insanely
Even though
genius.
Microsoft has said that for the foreseeable future, it's going to remain multi-platform, they've also said
Nintendo and
some things
Xbox.
that are like, yeah, but we're not going to do that forever. You
I
know?
think I think what they're saying, they can literally, so because they're friendly and Game Pass is approaching Nintendo slowly, but we're kind of heading in this direction where Nintendo and Xbox are holding hands, skipping into the horizon. Um, I think they can always use that as a back pocket. We're staying multi-platform.
Yeah.
Okay, well, technically 3 of our games are on the Switch, so yeah, we're multi-platform. Go fuck yourselves. Like, but Sony is scared because they've been keeping themselves so close to the chest and independent for so long that they thought it would just ride them to glory. And
Yeah.
now other companies are starting to like basically like rally against this juggernaut, and they're about to lose some IPs that are really important to them. Like Sony might be the one that's struggling here. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like,
I agree.
damn,
Um, yeah,
that's crazy though. Yeah, so that's sloppy, huh? Wow.
it
But
is.
you
Yeah.
haven't played it. You haven't played it though.
I haven't played it. I mean, from what I understand, it's hard to even get into it because like the lines are
Oof.
so long because they don't have enough servers. But
Oh,
also, I've never really been a big Overwatch fan. I kind of have hated it always.
really?
Like, I think it's got some of the worst gunplay in any game ever. The only appeal
Gunplay.
to it is the characters, which I'm not even that into the characters. So there's not
I think the
really there's
team aspect.
so yeah, so I get that, but I also don't play with a lot of people when I play
Yeah.
multiplayer games. If I had a big team and we were doing that like rock paper scissors garbage that they want you to do with, composing a strong team that can has counters for
Yeah.
other, that's interesting, right? But like I don't really
Yeah.
have people to do that. And when you play in quick play and you just pick a character you like, you're not doing that
There's
team
no
composition. Yeah.
guarantee. There could be like 5 of the same character on your team.
Right. So like that's not interesting to me, you know?
I agree.
And because the gunplay is not fun, uh why would I play that when I could play
Yeah.
any number of other shooters that have really good engaging
Yeah.
gunplay? Um so
It's
yeah.
nuts to think like Overwatch 1, like YouTube Overwatch 1 like video, and you'll see a fucking roster of incredibly well done videos and incredibly well edited trailers and commercials and gameplay and all that stuff from the first Overwatch. It was a phenomenon when it came out. This game was so big. It was basically a Pixar movie in gaming form. Like, with all the trailers and stuff. And now this gets silent dropped onto the market, and it's just like this isn't even a fraction like of the juggernaut that the first one was. Probably insta killing the franchise just on release. Like,
Maybe
Jesus
we'll see.
Christ.
I don't know. I think that Overwatch has enough of a following that if they play their cards right, they could salvage this, no problem.
Yeah.
But at the moment it's not looking great. So, but I mean,
Yeah.
we've had lots of games, not lots, but we've had enough games really redeem themselves after disasters launches that we know it's doable, right? We saw
Yeah.
Destiny do it. We saw No Man's Sky do it. We saw Final Fantasy 14 do it. There was another game recently Cyberpunk 2077 or whatever.
I
That
got an
really
anime.
has made like such an awesome resurgence, and that anime was awesome.
I didn't see that. I gotta see it
Oh, dude,
still.
it's so good. It's so
All right.
good.
All right. That's really
So yeah,
cool.
I mean, it's doable, and definitely there's enough interest in Overwatch that I think it could be done, but they really do need to play their cards right, like
Yeah.
quick. So
Bad quick.
yeah, yeah.
I do have one more announcement. I just remembered. So it's kind of just a crossover thing, but I'll just point it out because it is a video game thing. Magic the Gathering has been doing a lot of crossovers lately with different IPs, including Lord
Mm,
of the Rings, Warhammer, etc. And we are getting our. Oh, actually, we already got it, so I'm just gonna elaborate more. So we did get Street Fighter last year, and that was really cool crossover, like with exclusive Ryu and stuff like that, and all that. And now we're getting Final Fantasy next year. So this is actually a big deal. This is
that's
like a
kind of
massive
cool.
crossover. That's really cool. I think that we're going to get Final Fantasy Magic cards. We are also getting Assassin's Creed next year. So now it's getting to be like, what the fuck? With Lord of the Rings, Assassin's Creed, and
They're
Final
turning
Fantasy all
Magic
coming out.
into Fortnite.
Yeah, so they call these things like Universes Unbound is what this is
Sure.
called for Magic. So Magic the Gathering Universes Unbound is your extended universes outside of the Magic multiverse. which I think is really cool. The only issue is these are unique designs, and so if you want to play with this specific unique design, Cloud has to be in your deck now, and Cloud is not in the Magic the Gathering universe. You know what I
Right.
mean? Or I have to. I'm literally using E Honda in one of my decks, and it just doesn't make any fucking sense. But his ability is so good, he went into one of my decks. So you know what I
That's
mean? It's
funny.
one of those
Yeah.
things. It's really funny. I'm more of a mechanical player, so I'm like I prefer to give a shit about what the card does. You know, unless it's like a My Little Pony, which there is. Yeah, dude. And then, but that being said, if my deck is like littered with
What
random shit, like I cast Frodo into Optimus Prime, into E Honda. These are all real cards.
what's
Into
the
Rick Grimes from Walking Dead, and then you're just
Oh,
like, what
that's
am I
cool.
playing?
What's the popular My Little Pony one? Is it like Star Dash or something like that?
um.
What's its name?
Fuck. Is it? I'll literally look it up right
Something
now. Hold on.
Dash, right? I don't know. There's one
I
like
think
really.
it is.
I just remember when I used to coach, one of the kids that I coached was like a brony, and he was like obsessed with this one.
Twilight
Fucking
Princess Sparkle.
nah.
No. Ladasha. The cards we got were Rarity, Nightmare Moon, and Princess Twilight Sparkle. Nightmare
The
Moon is like a $70
Nightmare Moon
magic
sounds
card.
cool. Nightmare Moon sounds cool.
Yeah, Nightmare Moon does sound pretty cool. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
that's the
Princess
most.
Luna. Nightmare Moon flips into Princess Luna on the backside. This
That's
is
like the
just
most
Alice.
metal sounding My Little Pony I've ever.
Nightmare Moon. The art
Nightmare
is
Moon.
definitely a dark pony, but you know what are you gonna do? As long as it's nighttime, it gets. Never mind. All right, we're just gonna stop
That's
reading
hilarious.
it. But needless to say, there's lots of cool crossovers like that coming out. I think it's cool that video games are being represented in other media, especially old school ones like
Yeah.
Street Fighter and Final Fantasy, especially.
Yeah.
I'm excited for those. They don't feel non-magic-y to me. I will admit the Walking Dead ones and the Stranger Thing ones kind of turned to, like, I didn't love those. I didn't get any of those because those feel weird in my decks. But yeah, it's gonna be cool. I think it's cool announcements. I'm excited for Lord of the Rings. Actually, that is
I
gonna
would
be
think
really
if
fucking
any of
cool.
those do fit pretty well, Stranger Things would, because like they're very like Dungeons and Dragony, and
Yeah, that's
you know,
why I think too.
yeah,
Yeah, and like literally the year that was all announced, they did like Vecna and all that stuff in Magic. They did like a D&D coinciding with the Stranger Things re-release, like new season release, and then they dropped those cards too. So they definitely coordinate with other IPs like completely, which I think is cool. I will say certain franchises like Stranger Things and Walking Dead for me are so modern that they feel out of place. Oh no, would you break?
oh, nothing. I just dropped a controller on my toe.
Ah, and then, but anyway, so it's cool, and you know, nothing feels like egregious to me yet. That's my only other announcement that I can think of.
It's really cold in this room too, so that like made it hurt even more. Ow.
Shattered.
It hit like right on the tip of my toenail on the big toe. Damn.
Oof.
Ugh. All right. Cool. Yeah, I think that's all I got as far as current events are concerned too.
Yeah.
Let's swap over. We don't really have a topic, so that's why we've been bullshitting so much. But it's fun. We've done 45 minutes so far, so it's it's fun.
Also, both of our mics work together, so we can just like interrupt each other, and I feel like the flow is. No offense to Zach, but like I can't like talk over him.
Yeah,
Like,
so
yeah.
I've been looking into solutions for the mic issue, but the problem is everything costs money. Like that's better than what we're doing. So we don't make any money off this show. If we were making money off the show, it'd be another story.
That'd be cool.
But yeah. So anyway, let's switch over. I do have a review. So I'm gonna switch over to that real quick.
Wait, topic?
Yeah, we don't really have a topic. So like, and like I said, we've been kind of BSing and we've done 45 minutes already, so we might as well.
Somehow.
So the games that I'm reviewing are the Kengo series. If you don't know what Kengo is, it's actually the spiritual successor to the Bushido Blade games. So it's all very realistic. Samurai sword combat is what these are based on. The first one I have, where is it? It's somewhere without or not in my reach, but it's yeah, the first one released on PlayStation 2. It's pretty simple game. You know, make a samurai and you train him into samurai badass.
Ooh.
Um, you there's a whole bunch of different like training modes where you can like cut bamboo or like meditate under a waterfall, and these all like raise your stats. And then when you go and do fights, you learn new moves and techniques, and you can then apply those to your different stances to make these unbeatable combinations. And it's really
Ooh.
fun. It was kind of a sleeper hit on the PlayStation 2. Like I said, people that followed the Bushido Blade series um, were familiar with it. But you know, definitely a sleeper. Not a lot of people knew about these games. I only knew about them because I'm obsessed with samurai. So like,
Yeah.
um, I played them. The first one's definitely the simplest of all of them. You basically just train and fight, and there isn't really much of a story to be spoken of. Um, with the second one, which never came out in the United States. I have it right here. It did come out in Europe though, so this one's called Sword of the Samurai.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I've heard of that.
and it kind of adds some new elements. It keeps some of the basic principles of the first one, where you just like train and learn new things, but then it adds like a little bit of story to it. You start out just at like a random fight in a field. Some dude sees you and is like, "Hey, you're kind of a badass. Come train at this dojo." You
Uh-huh.
fight in the dojo, and once you complete all the challenges there, they're like, okay, there's a tournament coming, and if you fight in this tournament, then you can go and fight in this tournament in Kyoto, right, like the capital. um, and so you do the tournament and you win, and that opens up like a whole new element of gameplay where you start being able to encounter Kengo, which are sword masters, which are all like historical famous sword masters like Miyamoto
But
Musashi and uh, freaking I'm dropping names right now, but like you know famous Japanese
yeah,
swordsmen
totally. I
of the
know them
time.
all.
Yagyu
Actually.
Jubei, Ryomo Sakamoto, um,
Ah,
like all these like famous
none of us
swordsmen of the
know.
time.
We don't know. Come on.
Which is cool. And then if you beat them, you can learn their entire move sets.
Oh wow.
Which is
I assume
cool.
there's no killing in this. You're
There's
not like
definitely killing. In
you're
fact,
murdering famous
yes.
samurai.
In fact,
Okay.
in order to be able to fight Musashi, who's like the main or like the final boss of the game, you have to kill pretty much all of the other swordsmen, all of the other
Damn.
yeah. Um literally kill them. Um
All right, never mind. I
yeah.
was thinking it was a
And
little
then
more.
there's a little bit
Okay.
of story spread throughout, but it's fairly thin, but it's a very fun gameplay experience. Kengo 3 never came out anywhere but Japan. And so that was actually a real challenge to play. I do have that game too. Right here. Um, so this was really cool. I got this, and I was able to play it with the help of my friend Gabe, who was streaming with me last night, and his wife helping me translate it over Discord. And then also I used Google Translate to kind of speed things up. But it does essentially the same thing that Kengo 2 does, but takes it even a step further and lets you train at more dojos, and there's more missions that you can go on, and it's just really cool. It was quite a challenge to try and figure out how to play this game without, you know,
Yeah.
being a native speaker. Um, but we got through it. It was cool. And then the final game, which is what we see on screen right now, which just been staring at freaking Jubei forever. Let's I'm gonna skip ahead so we can
Jubei
see some
Shizuka.
fighting. Um this game was the only game that was not released on the PlayStation 2. So 1, 2, and 3 are all PlayStation 2 games, and then 4, which is called Kengo Legend of the Nine, was only released on Xbox 360, which is very strange. Um, the graphics are obviously a very big improvement. They did improve the fighting mechanics. As you can see, I'm able to like grapple with people and do like these cool like
That looks
quick
awesome.
kills and stuff. Yeah, it's really cool. But
Oh
they
damn, this
they
is
kind
sick.
of arcadified the game and removed a lot of like the really cool customization elements that the previous games did, while also at the same time adding more story. So there's like really good things they did for this game, and then really bad things they did for this game, um, because it's not anywhere near as customizable and intuitive as the previous Kengo games. Which was a real bummer, and I think why this game didn't do as well, as wasn't as popular as the previous ones. Um, but like I said, it's still very fun to play. And each character, so instead of creating your own samurai in this game, you get to play as the Kengo, as the sword masters. So like you can
Ah,
start out the game as Miyamoto Musashi, you know, or Yagyu Jubei. Actually, he's unlockable. But you get what I'm saying. Like as you play through the game, you unlock different samurai and you go through. My one complaint about the story in this one is that um some of these characters, some of these actual historical figures uh lived, there's like 2 to 300 years gap in when they lived. But then
oops.
like they're encountering each other within the story modes of these games. So like from a historical standpoint, game doesn't make a lot of sense. But if you don't know that and you don't care about that, it's cool because each character has their own story mode, which is an enhancement from the previous games. So that's kind of neat.
That's really
Um,
cool.
but yeah,
It looks a lot
overall,
better than I thought it would.
yeah, so this one's the Xbox 360 one. We haven't I haven't
Mm.
shown any gameplay from the previous ones. I could probably pull it up, but I don't want to mess with that right now. I should have like spliced these videos together so that you guys could see all the, different
Ooh.
transitions from all the games. But yeah, this is definitely by far the best looking of all the Kengo games. Let's see. Is there any other points we want to hit on? The gameplay's fun. The story's kind of meh. Um, the art, like I said, this is the best looking one. The PS2 ones don't look that great. I mean, they're definitely like competent enough for the time, but they're nothing special. The music is terrible in all of them
Oh
except for
no.
Kengo Legend of the Nine. The music is fine in this game. It's just like traditional Japanese music in this game. In the previous one, or in the previous three, there's almost no music. It's like pretty quiet
Huh.
a lot of the times. You hear like, birds chirping and cicadas doing their little shits, but like there really isn't much music to be spoken of. There is some, but not a lot. Sound design also not the best, but like not terrible. Like it gets the job done, but it's not great. And I think they use the same like sword sound effects throughout every single one of these games.
That is funny.
Yeah. Um, let's see. How long does it take? These games can take a very long time, but they're also very replayable and customizable in their own ways. So you know, you could, depends on what you're trying to accomplish in these games, but you could put hundreds of hours into them if you wanted to. I would say, with the exception of Kengo Legend of the Nine, which each story mode takes probably about an hour, maybe an hour and a half for each character's story. There are other modes, like there's like a PvP mode and like, some challenge modes and things like that. But like, as far as like completing the story with one character, you're not looking at a whole lot of time in this final one. Are the games difficult? Yes, all of them are very difficult. All of them. Once you learn how to play them, they start to become a lot easier, just like any challenging game. But
Yeah.
like just jumping in from the start, they're incredibly difficult and unforgiving. Like the sword play is pretty realistic. So if you get hit with like a decent attack, you'll bleed out and die. And like even just
Oof.
especially in the earlier games, one hit can kill you if you're not careful. Um, so just like the Bushido Blade games, they're pretty realistic in that way. Would I play a sequel? Absolutely. I played all four of them. Even the ones that never came out in the United States. You know, definitely jumped through some hoops to just be able to play them. That's how much I love these games. Um,
Oh, yeah.
Overall rating and impression. So this is going to be tricky because uh, there's obviously context involved. Number one, how old these games are. Number two, how kind of niche they are. Um, and yeah, I mean those are kind of the two biggest factors, right? So, um, Kengo one, I would say if you're like a samurai enthusiast, that's like a 7. Um, for anyone else, it's probably like a 5. um, and I would give a similar score for the next two games, right?
Oof.
So for Kengo 2, I would say if you're like a samurai and like realistic sword fighting game enthusiast, 7.5, maybe 8. But then if you're not, you're probably still looking at around like a 5.5 or something like that. Kengo
Pretty bad.
3 is the best of the series, if you ask me. But the problem is it's only in Japanese.
That's kind of
So
shitty.
what I would say would be probably like a high 8s for a samurai enthusiast. I'd probably say like 8.9 if you spoke the language and were a fan of this style of game, 8.9. But because it's not not in English, and you have to import it, you're gonna have to find a clever way to translate it or figure out how to even play the game. That's gonna take it down quite a bit, right? So we're
Yeah.
back down somewhere in the 5s. Um, and then the final game, Kengo Legend of the Nine, we're going to flip the script, right? Because for an enthusiast like me, it doesn't really hit the marks that these games did. But for like a more casual player who wants a more arcadey style samurai game, it's going to be a lot better, right? It's more interesting. So for the enthusiast out there, I would say, maybe 7.6 on this one. No, actually, I'd probably go a little lower, probably like 7.3, right? Um and then for, just a casual player, all the things considered, I'd actually say maybe 7.8 or 9, right?
Huh.
Because it's a much more approachable game than any of the others, but it lacks some of the really cool mechanics and customization that the previous games had. So, those are my overall ratings and impressions for the Kengo series. Like I said, if you are an enthusiast, these are must play games. Similar to the Way of the Samurai stuff. But if you're not, and considering how difficult it is to get a hold of all of these games except for the first one, actually, if you have an Xbox 360, it's pretty easy to get a hold of The Legend of the Nine as well. But otherwise, yeah, they're hard to get a hold of, and they're very niche. So it's hard to recommend these for casual players. Um, but yeah, that's it.
They
There's the
sound
review.
fun.
Yeah, for me they're awesome. I love these games. I could spend hours in them, but yeah, like I said, it's hard to recommend. Anyway, let's switch back. Schwink, schwink. Okay,
I did
dude,
it.
we did it.
We made a whole show,
We made
just
a whole
us.
show, just the two of us with no topic.
Wow, no topic and barely any direction.
Yeah, it was
Arguably no
good.
direction. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
we
was
did it.
fun.
Yeah. Got
Yeah.
to talk about
So,
Zelda for like 20 minutes.
what episode do we not do that?
Do we not? I know. We kind of need it.
Yeah, yeah. We're kind of like 1/3 a Zelda show, you know.
Yeah, I would say so.
Like,
Yeah, I would say we have no content without at least starting off with some Zelda topics.
yeah,
Helps
but
us get our gaming juices flowing.
it's fun. Yeah, I mean, it's the one game that all three of us are very passionate about
True.
collectively.
Yeah,
So,
very true.
it kind of brings us together quite a bit
Oh,
there. But yeah,
can't believe that's coming out in 5 months.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Dude, there's
nuts.
so many games coming out in February. Like
Are there?
so many games. I mean, it kind of happens a
Game
lot,
one.
but yeah, there's some big ones.
Which
Uh
ones?
well, I mean, there's a lot, but the one that I'm looking forward to is Wolong, right? It's from the same people who made the Neo
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
series.
that looks really good.
But there's tons of other games coming out in
Yeah.
February.
It's
Let's
weird. I'm
see.
not looking forward to Elden Ring for some reason. Why is that? Maybe because that's weird. That came out a year ago in February.
Yeah, it did.
I can't help but think it's steamed
Um,
off a little. It kind of is steaming right now, as opposed to smoldering ball of fire. Or maybe it's just we're done
uh
with it right now. Maybe it is still going strong, and we just aren't playing it.
yeah, I think it's still going fairly strong. You've got Hogwarts Legacy coming out February
Oh,
10th.
that looks good.
Destiny
Not gonna
2
lie.
Lightfall, Wanted Dead, I don't know what that is, Darkest Dungeon 2, Dead Island 2, Deliver Us from Mars, I don't know what that is. There's certainly more.
A lot of these sound bad.
Yeah, some of those I haven't even heard of, but I know there's people excited for quite a few of these games. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, like I think next year's going to be a great
it'll
great
be
year
good.
for gaming, honestly.
Yeah,
This year was rough, but we had some gems, right?
yeah.
Like Elden
And
Ring. Yeah,
we still haven't gotten Pokemon yet this year,
that's true.
so that's a big deal for Nintendo. We're getting a mainline Pokemon game again. It's been
Yeah.
4 years, so
Yeah.
it's been 4 years. That's nuts.
Yeah, yeah. Any closing thoughts before we wrap it up here?
We did it.
We did it. Yeah.
We're gonna go. We're gonna go do stuff now.
All
What?
right. Well, this has been This Is Difficult podcast. If you are watching it live, you're on my Twitch channel. I stream games sometimes. I've kind of been taking a little bit of a hiatus. There just hasn't been a lot of games that I've been interested in streaming. But that's probably going to change soon. We got God of War coming, we've got Pokemon coming. So
Yeah,
so there's some good stuff that I might want to jump in and stream.
great.
And yeah, I Samurai Saturday. We didn't do it this week because I was at the Japan Festival. We did a special stream last night. Next week I probably not gonna do it either because I'm going to the Renaissance Festival.
Oh, dope.
Um, so yeah, we'll see. But it's unlikely that we'll have Samurai Saturday next week. But otherwise, every Saturday we play Samurai games. Which is why I was able to bring you that review that we had today. So that's cool. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, share, subscribe, that fun stuff. And don't forget to join the Discord. If you want to yell at me on Twitter, I'm at Ryugami Sama, right down there. Or on Twitter. Did I say
The other
that?
one.
I don't know.
I don't remember what you said.
I don't
You said
remember what I
something.
said either. I think I accidentally said Discord again. You can yell at me.
I think you did actually say Discord.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. Anyway, we're
Is that actually where
missing
it said
another
that?
letdown, but follow him on his stuff. And
Yeah.
Josh, where can we find you, bud?
Yes. Lord Yeshua and Lord Yeshua TTV and all my bullshit. Maybe streaming. Man, I was really kind of getting back into it there, and now it's just working so much. Some hat in
Yeah, you were
time.
doing good.
Oh,
I was loving your streams.
I know they're really good. I mean, some more speed running coming, and I still want to speed run the Donkey Kong lands. These are all things on my to do list. And Pokemon, I am most likely going to stream some of it, although it does also feel like a game that a lot of it should be done just casually because it's going to be a lot of
I'm looking
game.
forward to the co-op. I really hope they do it well, right?
From what
Like,
I saw, it kind of looks like it's raid battle co-op. I
ah,
forgot to mention that was something I was slightly
that
disappointed in.
sucks
That
because I
I
know
don't
that. Like
Yeah.
people are looking at Temtem and being like, they did co-op the way we want Pokemon to do
Yeah.
co-op, right?
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we have like I would love like the co-op campaign to an extent, or at least allowing you to do like two-player like battles. I don't see why that's so out of the question, considering it's been a thing in Pokemon, like in many games. For what I saw, it was only raid battles, but that's really all that they showed us. They still said it was online co-op, so there's the possibility that we're just not seeing a specific feature. So they put a lot in there, but I'm hopeful still. Either way, I'm going to beat the shit out of this game.
Sweet. All right, man. Well, have an awesome day. Have an awesome rest of your weekend. That goes for you too, audience.
Oh yeah, I was like, you're talking to me.
Yeah, I was talking to you. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
See you
Bye.
guys. Woohoo!